The root cause of PCOS starts before insulin resistance. Dysregulated cortisol and dysregulated estrogen destroying our metabolism. It is absolutely possible to help them get out of that by just adding thyroid and progesterone in. And what two things massively protect the human organism from this whole catastrophic event? Two things in particular, thyroid and progesterone. Think of thyroid and progesterone as really two of our most potent anti-stress, anabolic, pro-metabolic hormones. And they work in great synchronicity with each other, right? Progesterone influences thyroid, thyroid influences progesterone. The thyroid is in charge of stimulating and arguably protecting the entire human organism at a cellular level in terms of energy production. And if you've taken HRT University, you should know that energy is the currency of life. It's really freaking important. It's so important that I spend a lot of time talking about metabolism, because if you don't understand that the principle of energy is the currency of life, and that energy is what helps hold our whole body and our whole universe together and keeps it from falling apart, then you would understand that we need to seek balance in our human organism by promoting what hormones are actually ready to be disposed for us to heal from that chaos and disorder and energy leaking, right? So progesterone and thyroid are massively important. Progesterone helps balance estrogen in the broadest of senses, right? Progesterone helps decrease inflammation. It helps modulate the immune system. It helps heal our gut lining. Thyroid as well. Thyroid helps keep the entire GI tract mobile and active. Thyroid helps increase energy production at a cellular level, which means it's going to heal much more quickly, get rid of reactive oxidative species. The more energy, the better. We need progesterone and thyroid. And in fact, the lack of progesterone and thyroid is arguably what stimulates all this stuff anyways, because we have that sudden stress response with cortisol. So if you're following me here, because I know this is deep, deep, deep stuff, what I hope you're recognizing is that progesterone and thyroid are massively important, and the root cause of PCOS starts before insulin resistance. It is now because we have dysregulated cortisol and dysregulated estrogen with a thyroid and progesterone insufficiency that we are left with dysregulated blood sugars, which is going to do what to our fasting insulin? Increase it. And is doing what to our metabolism? It's destroying our metabolism. And then we start ending up with insulin resistance, elevated blood sugars, potentially elevated A1Cs. And then, of course, that's typically when we're going to start seeing things like dysregulated menstrual cycles and hirsutism, right? Because our sex hormone binding globulin is getting obliterated because our blood sugars are so out of control. And our testosterone and DHA are now through the roof. And what we know now in the literature is that it appears that most women with PCOS have a little bit of progesterone resistance, just like women can have insulin resistance. So now not only is the body probably not producing enough progesterone, but whatever progesterone is producing, it's not doing a damn bit of good because we have progesterone resistance. And so what happens with women with PCOS? Well, as they continue to age, things get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Now, fortunately, a lot of my female patients are very active and healthy. And again, if you saw them, it would be difficult to really recognize whether or not they have PCOS. I mean, I've literally walked by women in public and thought, that woman has PCOS. I can see it. I see it as clear as day. The hirsutism, the obesity, the fatigue and whatever. Is pretty obvious. And I think that unfortunately we can recognize that, but it doesn't do us any service. It doesn't do them any service because, again, what we should be doing is recognizing that 10 years before that poor female ends up in that position. And by the way, I understand that if your diet and lifestyle are not optimal, well, she probably was going to end up there either way. But I'm talking about women who do have optimal diets and lifestyles. PCOS, much like the rampant epidemic of hypogonadism in men because of xenoestrogens and disrupting chemicals, where we're seeing that same thing cross over to women. A hypogonadal man, frankly, looks a lot like a patient with Cushing's syndrome also. They tend to have more truncal obesity. They tend to be tired and fatigued. They tend to be more depressed, more anxious. They tend to not carry any muscle mass. Doesn't that kind of sound like a woman with PCOS? I think this stuff is so interesting because I see this crossover of syndromes and I actually think they both have a very similar root cause. And I think the same variables like xenoestrogens and endocrine disrupting chemicals are also compounding on this. Did PCOS exist 20 or 30 years ago? Yes. At the same rates as it is today? No. What about 60 years ago? Did it exist? Absolutely. At the rates in which it is now? No. At the rates it was 30 years ago? No, definitely not. What about hypogonadism? Same thing. It's getting worse over time. I'm not saying that they never existed, ever. I mean, hopefully they didn't ever, but I think for as long as humans have been around, there's probably always been PCOS and hypogonadism. But I think these things are getting significantly worse over time. I don't think we're getting better at necessarily even diagnosing them. I think, in fact, I would say most people are underdiagnosed when it comes to hypogonadism and even PCOS, truly. Unfortunately, we go about treating both of them inappropriately most of the time. Hypogonadism, a little bit easier. PCOS, unfortunately, I think is a little more challenging. I think a lot of people immediately pursue improving insulin resistance, which, by the way, is very important and very key to do, especially in women in severe states of PCOS with significant obesity and insulin resistance. But in those gals who are not quite there yet, we don't necessarily need to start them on a GLP-1 or metformin even. What we probably need to do is give them progesterone and thyroid and potentially even try to find a way to decrease stress levels, right? Maybe we do need to have some lifestyle interventions and stuff there. I'm not discounting that. I never discount lifestyle and diet. Those are the two most important interventions behind everything, of course. But I'm also not going to allow these women to just sit by the wayside. And they're telling me, Nico, I don't know, my cycles, sometimes they're just not super regular, or maybe I do have a little bit of a mustache, but I just lasered off. It's no big deal. I'm not super overweight, but I do gain weight kind of easily. Like, okay, it sounds like you have PCOS. Have you ever been told you have PCOS? No, Nico, never. And I look at her labs, and sure enough, her DHA's on the higher side. It might not be above the reference range, but it's kind of high. And maybe her free testosterone is kind of high. Not above the reference range, but just kind of high for a young gal. And maybe her androgen receptors are actually really sensitive and she has very low SHBG because her fasting insulin is starting to creep up a little bit. You see what I'm getting at here? I want to be able to treat women much earlier, and I want you to be able to spot it earlier, PCOS. I, of course, want you to help women in more severe states. And frankly, I think that's a lot more straightforward. I mean, we really do need to give those women likely GLP-1s or metformin or some sort of, we have to try to help them lose weight and get out of that insulin resistance mess. But for those younger gals, or for those gals who are just not in such a severe state, it is absolutely possible to help them get out of that by just adding thyroid and progesterone in. Thank you so much for checking out this clip and tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you really liked it, I definitely recommend that you click here to watch the whole entire video where I go into much more detail. Thank you again for joining, and I'll see you there.